So today I'm going to cover one very important topic for a framework point of view, that whenever we have to create any automation framework, so we need to use one concept that is called properties file. Okay, there is a separate component we have to create to read the properties file, and then I'll tell you that what is the use of why properties file are useful for us. Okay, there are different ways to maintain the properties file, and what is the use of, what is the actual purpose of properties file. Okay, so what I'll do, let's create, in this particular package I'll create a file. Just right click on it, new, and I'm not going to create a class, I'm going to create a file. So what you have to do, you have to go to others, and here you have an option in general, file option is available. You need to click on file, simple file we have to create, and file name, let's see, I'm giving config.properties. So extension will be dot properties. Okay, don't write property, it is properties, everything in a small letter. Okay, make sure that spelling is correct, properties, and then click on finish. Now this config.properties, we cannot write Java code in this particular file. Okay, it's a simple text file, but the extension is dot properties. But how exactly the data we have to enter in this particular properties file? So the data we have to store over here in the form of key and value pair format. Okay, so the config.properties is used to define the data. It can be used for environment variables also. It can be used for some XYZ information. If you want to store in this particular properties file, we can use it for that also. So simply I just created in this particular package one file, config.properties file. I'll repeat how to do that. Simple right click on your package, go to new, click on other. In general, one option is there, file option, click on next, and simple write the file name. Okay, and the file name you can give anything, abc.properties or config.properties or test.properties or whatever. So one file will be created over here. Now what kind of data we have to enter? Okay, so data will be like this. Let's see, I'm gonna write name is equal to Tom, age is equal to 25. Okay, so this is config.properties file. I have written two values. Okay, name is equal to Tom, age equal to 25. So this is key and this is value. This is key, this is value. Okay, similarly, let's see, I know that okay, URL will be constant throughout my program. So I can write my URL. Okay, don't write in a string format, simple directly write like this, http google.com. Okay, so name equal to Tom, age equal to 25, URL is equal to this. Okay, so whatever the generic things are there, we know that okay, URL will be constant throughout my program, username, password will be constant throughout my program. Okay, so these things we can enter. Okay, we can define in your config.properties file. Okay, so simple key and value pair format. Okay, name equal to Tom, age equal to 25, URL is equal to this. Let's see, I want that okay, my browser is equal to Chrome. Okay, this is another property I have defined, browser equal to Chrome. Now the question here is that how to read this particular properties file and how can we use in Selenium. Okay, so far I haven't written any Selenium code. Okay, so now let's create a class. Let's see, my class name is read property file, read prop file, main method, and finish. Okay, So we have this config.properties file in this particular package, and I have created a class. In this particular class, we will write the code to read the properties file. Now, what we have to do first, to read the properties file, we have to create the object of properties class. So in Java, we have one class is available, default class is available. The class name is called properties. Simple, I'm going to create a class properties. Prop is equal to new properties, like this. Okay, so this class is already available in Java, so we have to import it from Java. So just mouse over, we have to import it from Java, from java.util package. Right, now we have another class that is called file input stream. We have to create the object of file input stream class is equal to, let's see, IP is the object name, file input stream, like this. And this file input stream is available in Java, so we have to import it from java.util. Okay, but inside the file input stream, we have to tell that where exactly your properties file is available. Okay, so my file is config.properties. Okay, so I'll right click on my config.properties, I'll go to properties, and this is the location of my config.properties. Okay, and this location we have to give it over here. Right, so this is the location of my config.properties file, and now it will give you one suggestion. Just write add throws declaration. Okay, so what I have done so far, I'm just creating the object of properties class, then I've created the object of file input stream class. But in file input stream class, which file you want to read? I want to read this particular file, config.properties file. Right, now what we have to do, we have to load this particular file by using properties. So how to load? Simple, by using this object name, we have one method, prop.load method is there, and in prop.load we have to pass the file input stream object. Simple, like this. And again it will give you one suggestion, so simple, add throws declaration. Okay, now I'll repeat. Simple, first step is create the object of properties class, then create the object of file input stream class. So file input stream class will connect to this particular properties file, config.properties file. This is the role of file input stream class. File input stream class, it will create an input stream between your Java code and config.properties class, whatever the class, config.properties file, whatever the file you are mentioning over here. And then once the connection and once the stream is established between your code and then config.properties, then we have to load that particular file. So how to load? We have one method prop. In properties file we have one method prop.load, and just give the which object. Now config.properties is available in this particular IP object, and which object you want to load? I want to load prop.load IP. Now whatever the variables or keys are available, name equal to 25, name equal to Tom, age equal to 25, URL, browser equal to Chrome. Okay, now I can read these properties. So how to read these properties? Let's see, I want to print system.out.println what is the value of name. What is the value of name? Name is equal to Tom. So simple, what I have to do, we have, by using this object prop object, prop dot get property method is there. Okay, and we just need to pass the key. What is the key? I want to get the value of name. Okay, so make sure you are passing the exact key. Okay, from config.properties, this is the key, name, and the exact key you have to use it over here. So we have this method prop.getProperty method, and pass the key and it will print. So if you run this program, let's run it and we'll see. See, it's printing Tom. right? So by using properties, okay, we are printing the exact key. What is my key name? Key name is name. Let's see, same thing. I want to print age. So prop.get property, give me the value of age. So if you run this program, now the age is 25. So 25 is getting printed. So let's see if I write name, capital N. But capital name with N is not available here. We have written small name. Okay. Then if you try to print, it will give you null. Okay, because this particular property is not available. Name property is not available here. Right? Name property is not available here. Similarly, let's say I commented this particular line. How to comment? Okay, in properties file, just write hash. Don't delete any property. Maybe you will be using that particular property later. So you can put a comment like this. So it means this particular property we have disabled. Okay, we have commented this particular property. So just write hash. Okay. So if you read now name property with a small name, and we know that okay, name is okay, we have commented disabled. It means this is now it cannot be used now because it is commented. So if you try to run it, still it will give you null. For small name also now it's giving you null. Okay, so you can comment that particular property also. So now the rule is whatever the property you want to get, make sure you are passing the correct exact value. If it is a small name there, age is small, then you have to pass the exact value. Right? Now let's say I want to what I want to get the value of URL, and I know that this is my URL. URL is equal to this. Simple one method is there, simple prop dot get property. And what is my key? Key is URL. See, URL we have to pass in the form of a string value, obviously, because all these keys are string values. So prop dot get, I'm not going to print it. Prop dot get property will give you one string value. So what I'll do, I'll store in some string variable. Let's see, string URL is equal to this, right? So string URL is equal to prop dot get property. I have written like this. Okay. Now what I want to print this URL system.out.println simple URL. Okay. So what should be the output? Prop.get property will read this particular property. It will store in this particular URL variable, and I'm going to print it. So let's run it. So see, URL is getting printed now, right? Now what I want to get the property of browser. So I'll store in, let's see, some variable. I'll create browser name is equal to prop dot get property. And what is my property name? My property name is browser. Property name is browser. Okay. So okay, I read URL and browser name. Same thing, I'm going to print browser name system.out.println browser name. Okay, so let's run it. So it will print URL as well as browser name is Chrome. Right? Now what is advantage? How can we use this? Okay, so now let's see what I'll do. I'll initialize my WebDriver. So let's copy paste this thing. Okay, I have initialized my WebDriver with Chrome driver, which is fine. Or let's do one thing. Okay, now before that I'll write one logic. I'll put one condition. If what is my browser name variable? This is my browser name variable. If browser name dot equals Chrome, okay, then launch this particular thing, right? If browser name dot equals, so what is the value of browser name? Chrome. So Chrome dot equals Chrome. It will come inside the if part, and then it will set this particular system property for Chrome driver dot exe, and then it will launch Chrome driver, right? So what I'll do, I'll define this WebDriver variable, okay. After my class, I'll make it a global variable, okay, like this, so that I can use this particular driver over here. So we are using in static method, so let's make it static, okay. So now you have one variable, WebDriver driver variable, simple driver equal to new Chrome driver, okay. Now I'll write one more condition, that else if, what is your browser name dot equals Firefox, then I have to launch my Firefox. So for Firefox, what I'll use instead of Chrome driver, I'll be using Gecko driver, right? And then I have to launch my Firefox like this, driver is equal to new Firefox driver, okay, like this, right? So if browser name dot equals Chrome, then set the property of Chrome driver and then launch Chrome driver. Same thing, if browser name equal to Firefox, then set the property of Gecko driver and launch Firefox driver. Similarly, if you want to launch your Internet Explorer, so I'll write else if browser name dot equals Internet Explorer, then simple I'll write this particular property, Internet Explorer driver exe file we have to give, and then we have to launch driver is equal to new Internet Explorer driver, like this. Similarly, we can write the logic for Safari also, right? So if you see, I have written combination different logic for my browser. Now it's so handy that let's say tomorrow you want to execute. So let's see what exactly I have written. I have written browser name is equal to Chrome here, browser equal to Chrome. It means it will read the property prop.get property of browser. Browser name will become Chrome. It will come over here, Chrome dot equal Chrome. Yes, condition is satisfied. It will come inside the if part. It will define the system property, and then driver equal to new Chrome driver will be launched, right? A driver equal to new Chrome driver will be launched. It means the Chrome browser will be launched, okay. It will not come inside the else if part and these two conditions, because we have already defined Chrome over there in properties file. Now if you run this program, you will see that Chrome browser will be launched. See, Chrome is getting launched, right? Although we are not passing any URL. Now let's see, I'm going to, after this particular logic, I'll enter the URL. So how to enter the URL? Simple, driver.get method, and inside the get method we have to pass the URL, and we know that URL we have already taken, this URL which is coming from this particular property. So I'll write simple like this, driver.get and URL variable I'll pass, right? Okay, so URL is also there, and if you run this program now, so browser will be launched with Google page. Now it will enter google.com. Now, what is the advantage? The advantage is, let's say tomorrow if I want to execute on Firefox, okay, I'll just write ff over here, Firefox, and simple. Now this particular browser name variable will be ff. ff dot equals Chrome. No, condition is not satisfied. It will come inside the else if part. ff dot equals ff Firefox. Yes, condition is satisfied. It will initialize your Gecko driver and then it will launch Firefox driver. And then it will not come inside the Internet Explorer part. Then it will enter the URL in Firefox now. So no need to change again and again that earlier we were using this thing, right? That driver.get and WebDriver equal to new Chrome driver. Actually tomorrow you want to work with Firefox, so again you have to delete this thing and you have to write Firefox driver and or maybe comment this line and then you have to write Gecko driver for Firefox. Same thing if you want to do it for Internet Explorer, then again you have to change the properties and initialize your WebDriver with Internet Explorer driver. And again, let's say you want to use then again Chrome driver, then again you have to delete it and then you have to write Chrome driver.exe and Chrome driver class you have to initialize, right? So no need to delete all these things. You can maintain, you can control everything from here. If I write once again back to Chrome, simple, you can write Chrome and now the Chrome browser will be launched. So we have written one logic like this. Okay, so this logic can be very useful. Okay, same thing, let's say tomorrow you are using, we know that okay, google.com is the constant URL for my application, or maybe half.ebay.com, or maybe facebook.com. I'm gonna test facebook.com. So test, simple, we are working upon facebook.com or google.com, whatever it is, the URL we are taking it from there. Let's say tomorrow your URL has been changed, let's say facebookqa.com or facebookdev.com. You are working upon some lower environment in your company. Let's see, you are not going to test it on on production environment. So we have dev environment, we have QA environment, we have staging environment. So let's say you want to test, you are working in Google, let's say you want to test it on QA environment, so it will be like this, qa.com. Now the build has been promoted to staging environment. Okay, now you have to test it on staging environment. So obviously on a staging environment, this is stg.com, right? So we have only one location where you just need to change the URL. No need to change the URL in your script. So we should avoid to make changes in a script. Okay, this is a good practice. We should avoid all these hard-coded values, right? All these things you can maintain inside the properties file, and we know that okay, these are the properties we are going to use like that. Similarly, some property we can use like this, username. Let's say username is equal to test@gmail.com and password is equal to test123. And we know that okay, for this particular application, username and password will remain same, so we can use username password over here. Let's say tomorrow you want to test it with some other different username password, so you don't need to change in your script. I'm writing like driver.findElement by.xpath and .send keys. Username I'll pass test@gmail.com. So instead of in double quotes test@gmail.com, just pass it from read the property and then pass this particular property. So let's say tomorrow it will be admin@gmail.com. Then you just need to come over here and just write admin@gmail.com. No need to change in your script. Okay. So like that you can read the properties, right? So let's see some other example. Let's see I'll open Firefox. Let's see this half.ebay.com. It's okay. So let's say I want to enter email ID and password. Okay. So or maybe I'll go to register page. Okay, on this particular page we will go to register page. So Let me check if we can directly enter this register page. Register, enter info. Let's see. Yeah, it's navigating to this page. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll use this particular URL. So this is my URL. Okay. And I want to use Google Chrome. And what are the properties you want to? I want to enter first name, last name. Let's see. Okay. So let's say I'm going to comment these username, password. I don't want to use these two properties. I want to use first name is equal to, let's see, David. Last name is equal to Peter. And I want to enter city also. Let's see, city is equal to, or maybe I'll write London. Okay. These three values I want to print. I want to fill, not print, sorry. Okay. Fine. Then I'll define the XPath of these three fields in properties file itself. So first name, what is XPath? So this is XPath. So see, I can write like this. I can define my object properties here also. So we can write something like this. Okay, for formatting point of view and for it, so that anyone can, something like this. Test data we can maintain like this. And what exactly are test data? This is for register data, register page data. Okay, so page wise data we can maintain over here. Now page wise object properties also we can define over here. Let's see, register page, object repository, something like this. And first name we can write like this, first name underscore XPath is equal to this, not sorry, XPath is this. Okay, last name underscore XPath is equal to, for last name also, XPath is equal to this. Okay, and we have city, for city also, city underscore XPath is equal to this. Okay, so for a register page, I have defined object repository over here. I don't want to use XPath, the hard-coded XPath in my code. Now, how to read this property? So we know that, okay, browser will be Chrome, browser will be Chrome, and this is a URL. Okay, so the URL will be this driver.get URL will be launched. So let's see, it's launching the correct URL or not. So let's run it. Oh, what happened? Null pointer. Which null pointer? Just a minute.
I
Oh,
think
see.
you did not commented the name and age.
No, that is fine.
Oh, okay.
Name and age we are using, that is fine. It will just print. See, we are using, you have to use a small c. Okay. And Chrome is equal
Okay.
to Chrome. Okay. Let's run it again. Okay. Now it's launching Google Chrome with, okay. So it's launching registration page, right? So it's launching registration page. It means till URL, it's working fine. So the thing is, I want to use this particular URL on Google Chrome. Okay, that doesn't matter. Name and age, you don't need to comment, that is fine. You are just printing it. That is fine. Now, what I have to do after entering the URL, I have to use driver dot find element by dot xpath of first name. So what is the xpath of first name? We have already defined over here the first name xpath, right? In this particular key. So I just need to read the key. No need to write the hard coded value. Prop dot get property and property of that particular key. I mean, yeah, just pass that key. And dot send keys, again prop dot get property. What exactly the value you want to send? I want to send this particular value, first name value. Right? Now see, everything is so generic. We have removed the hard-coded values. Driver dot find element by dot xpath. Okay, what is xpath? Just read the property. Prop dot get property first name underscore xpath. So first name underscore xpath will read this particular property and the value is this, right? And then send keys and first name. Prop dot get property first name. What is my first name? First name is David. So it will read the property from here. Similarly for last name also, what is my last name xpath? Last name xpath is this. Last name xpath. And what is the value I want to enter? I want to enter last name. Okay. Same thing for city. Right? What is xpath for city? City underscore xpath. And my city is, let's see, the city will be London. Okay. So the XPath also I'm reading from properties file, and what exactly the data also we have to enter, that is also I'm reading from properties file. So what is the advantage? Let's say tomorrow your XPath has been changed for username or maybe first name. So immediately you will come over here and you will update your first name XPath over here. Let's see, this first name XPath you are using 10 times in your code. Okay, driver.find element, enter first name, and then on 50th line also you are using, on 100th line also you are using. So around 10 to 15 times you are using this particular first name xpath. So let's say tomorrow xpath has been changed, so 10 times you have to update, 10 places you have to update your xpath for username, right? It will be a headache for me, that every time I have to change it, at every places I have to change it. So now what is the solution? The solution is just go to config.properties and update it. Simple. Let's say tomorrow it's first name, it's 123. Then I'll update over here and automatically, because we are in our script we are using this particular variable. So automatically in my script all the variables will be updated with the latest value. Simple. So this is the biggest advantage. Okay, we are not going to use hard-coded values in our script, in our code. We are just maintaining inside the properties file. Okay, and then simple, you can use it anywhere. This variable, if you're using 100 times, the same value will be populated 100 times. If any value is getting changed in future, simple, update the value here, automatically 100 variables will be updated in your script automatically. Simple. So now let's run this program, if it is working or not. We are reading the properties for XPath, we are reading the properties for data also, and for URL also. So let's run it. Okay, so it's launching Google Chrome, entering, see, David, Peter. Okay, it's not entering city. For city, maybe we missed one thing. For city, we missed one slash. See, right? So let's run it again. Right? Earlier it was like this. So we know that XPath should start with double slash. So we have to use this, right? So let's run it again. Now it's entering London. City also it's entering. Right? And see, for all the elements, for all the XPath, you can define like this. So you can maintain the complete object repository at a single location. So tomorrow, if you want to change any XPath or any name or ID, see, you can use ID also over here. City underscore ID. If you don't want to use XPath, you can use ID also. You can use name also, or whatever the locator you want to use, you can use it. First name underscore ID. Then you just need to write the ID value. It's not like only XPath we have to do, right? Similarly, let's say tomorrow you are working on login page. So for login page also you can define the object repository. Okay, so for login page, let's see, this is a login page, right? I want to enter user ID and password. So let's just spy this. So input ID is equal to this. Let's see, this time I want to use ID. So for login page, so what are the value? Email underscore ID, okay, is equal to this. This is my ID. And for password underscore ID is equal to this, like this. This is my password ID. So I can use by.id now, by.id, and I'll read this is my ID. Simple. So for login page also you can define like this, and then I want to click on sign in button. So for sign in, this is the ID, right? So how exactly I'll write? Sign in underscore, I can write something like this, button underscore ID is equal to this. Okay, so you can write like this. For button you can define like something like this, sign in. So immediately I'll get to know that, okay, sign in button. Let's say I want to click on I forgot my password, so I'll spy this, and this is the XPath I'm gonna use for this thing, forgot password. So how to write? Simple, forgot password underscore link underscore XPath is equal to this. So give some proper name like this, forgot password link path. So we know that, okay, forgot password is link, and we are using XPath for that. Email is a field, we are using ID for that. First name is a field, we are using XPath for that. So the page wise you can define your object repositories like this, and you can use, and we have common location is available. Okay, common centralized repository is available for all the objects page wise, and then use it in your program. So this is the very good way, very systematic way we can use properties file, and it's very lightweight also. Okay, so so far we, I think you did that assignment, that okay, you are filling complete registration page, okay, and you submitted that assignment also. Now you have to do it through properties file. Just maintain all these objects, whatever the two things, all the XPath ID and everything in your properties file, and the values also you have to write like this. Same thing,
And
first
Navin,
define the object repositories and then define the data.
how can we do it for drop down?
Yeah, for drop down also you can do that. Simple, what value you want to select from drop down. Let's say I want to select Arizona. Okay, so we know that, okay, Arizona, and then XPath also we can define like this. This is my XPath. So we have to use select class, select equal to new select, and then
Yes,
driver
that's
dot
the
find,
similar fashion that we did. Yeah,
right?
got it.
Simple.
Yes.
So everything you can do that. For links, for drop down, for checkboxes, everything you can maintain inside the properties file. Okay, and you can design a simple framework, a simple kind of data driven framework, I would say. We are driving the data from properties. Okay, so just try this thing. It's very, very, very important. If you join any project, similar kind of concept will be there. Read the properties file by using these 3 lines of code, and read the properties and use in your program, use in your Selenium script. So properties file is a Java concept, and we are using this Java concept in Selenium. Now you see the importance of Java now. Okay, so please practice.